I am someone that I need anything in my life for me to stick either with a routine or a healthier habit. I need to feel the effects of it right away. I'm like, I'm not a long-term person. I'm not like, oh, meditate for 2 years and then in 5 you're going to be like in this whole crazy enlightened mindset. No, that's not for me. Like, I need to kind of feel right after it. You know, there is a Buddhist saying that enough is plenty. And I think that is so powerful, because the moment that, and usually a big tool platform to reach to this is mindfulness is a tool, a platform for you to reach to how can I feel enough is plenty for me. It's, you know, it's realizing when you start having practices, when you develop a practice that works for you, you're going to start seeing that what you have is not enough. It's like more than you think, you know, more than you've been expecting. And that more that you're reaching for is not something that you need. You know, it's outside world, it's other people's expectations. And we need to do more of that. Otherwise we'll be living two lives. We're going to be two humans, and it's impossible to, it's already hard to be fulfilled with one, you know, being one human, one person, living one life. Imagine two.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
it's so on point with what we believe. And, you know, and even just to take a point, like this show is called More Business, More Life. And, you know, and I believe everything that you're saying right now. And the reason we do this is because I'm also a marketer and I want to make change. And I know that people are attracted to more, you know, and so I'm calling myself out on this, right? And just putting it out there. But because as a teacher, I realized this, because I didn't know this all the time. When you meet someone, you have to meet them where they are. And so when I first came, I'm like, listen to me, you got to do this, you got to do that. And this goes back to mindfulness. We could be like up here. And I'll tell you, I was so scared the first time I did a group meditation at one of my events. I was like, what are they going to do? And barely anybody had meditated. And even one person walked out for religious reasons. I was like, oh my God. And I was manifesting this because I was like,
Yes.
I was scared. So I was putting that energy out there, and those people came into the room. It's crazy, which is a whole nother subject. But as I created this, it's like, okay, let me show you how you can have more abundance. We say more business because that's the word, because you have to, words matter, right? So we meet people where their map is, give them what they want, and then teach them what they need. And so really it's that more life part. That's why it's more business, more life. So I am including it in there, but I'm also meeting them where they are and then bringing them where we go. And that's why my tagline is choose gratitude. I think that's the word for me, piggybacking on what you're saying, that helped me, because I wasn't always that way. I was actually upset with myself. I wasn't doing enough. I was failing, even in my mind. I was failing my family. I wasn't this, I wasn't that. And when I finally met my mentor in the first meeting, he saw this, how much I was beating myself up because I hadn't reached my goals the way that I wanted to and in the time that I wanted to. And he ran me through an exercise that showed me how good I had it. And it was in that moment that I found gratitude that I had not had since I was a little kid. And I realized how awesome it was and how far I had come. And without that, we can't spring forward. Like if you're crapping on yourself every day, beating yourself up, how do you have the energy to do the goodness, the awesomeness, the things that you're meant to do in the world? And that's why for me, it starts with gratitude. Choose gratitude, create freedom, right? So you're just speaking right to our brands. That's why I had to like interject. It's like, this is to me, truth, right?
It is, definitely. You might have addressed this in a podcast before, but it's easy to talk about gratitude, but then how do you actually practice it, right, every day? And that's the same conversation around mindfulness that we were having before. Like, how do you make it your own practice and something that will stick? And I think that's what is lacking out there. And I feel you, Steve, do it so well, is like offer like practical insights and steps or maybe exercises for people to explore. It doesn't mean that your practice, the one that your mentor did with you, to see how much you already got, you know, to be grateful for everything so far that led you to where you are right now. it might have helped to you, but it might not be the answer for other people. And I feel that's one tough spot to be in this mindfulness space, is people are expecting this one formula that will work for you. They're like, I'm going to do this course and this is going to make me feel more grateful every day. And you're like, let me know which course is that one, because I'm going to take it too.
It's the pill that everyone's looking for diet, for mindfulness. And, you know, it is a practice. I'm with you. It's exactly. It's daily. I just had to start with, what am I grateful for today, for like 1 minute every morning on the side of my bed. I just made it a thing that before I get up, and even if I sat up, I would just lay there, or I'd sit up, and I would just gave myself permission to have 5 minutes. And this is how I started. This is how I started meditating. I was so go. I couldn't even sit still. I'm like, what do you mean meditate? And I thought it meant make your mind go blank. I was like, you know, I can't do that. I'm always thinking, my mind is going. I'm like, I can't meditate. That was the thing I was getting in my head. And so finally someone told me, just breathe, take 10 deep breaths, and then ask yourself what you're grateful for. And that's how it started. And then I would just do that for 5 minutes. I would just put a song on that ended in 5 minutes. So I'd have like a timer. That's it. And that was relaxing. And then I would get up and go. And that's the simple way I started. And this comes back to that question I was asking you, like, what's the simple thing for you? I don't know, like, maybe was it your starting point, or like what is the simple way? Because I think that's what you're getting to. Your point is like, it doesn't have to be some big grandiose thing. You don't have to meditate for an hour every day. You know,
yeah, totally.
What's the first step for you, and maybe what you recommend?
Yes. And we were just talking about not having one success formula, but mine is very similar to yours.
So we're just piggybacking.
But I am someone that I need anything in my life for me to stick either with a routine or a healthier habit. I need to feel the effects of it right away. I'm not a long-term person. I'm not like, oh, meditate for 2 years and then in 5 you're going to be like in this whole crazy enlightened mindset. No, that's not for me. Like, I need to kind of feel right after it. Right. So actually practicing gratitude is something that I immediately felt like so much love in my heart. And I mean it, you know, I don't want to sound too romantic, but in the exercise I remember seeing online, someone wrote every week something they were grateful for that week and put it in a jar, and they could only open the jar at the end of the year. Because usually end of the year is when you're like, New Year's resolution, what I'm going to do better and more productive and be more successful, whatever. Like, I'm not a New Year's resolution person, but that's the vibe, right? That's the energy at the new year. Like, you're not really reflecting on the past and saying, thinking about the grateful things that happened, unless something major happened in your life. And then of course you're going to remember those. So this person wrote a gratitude note, like about something she was grateful every week, and just opened the jar at the end of the year and read all of them in one day. And she said it was so powerful. And I was like, oh, that sounds so exciting. And like, one note a week, I can totally do that, you know? So I did that. And it was like 2.5 years ago. That I'm saying, like, the practice for gratitude became part of my daily practice. Was that, you know, at the end of the year when I read it, I was like, oh my God, I didn't even remember that. I would never in my life remember those things I wrote, and were the smallest ones. You know, it was not, you know, when I got a massive grant for my nonprofit. It was not when I built a school in a refugee camp. Those were not the notes. And that's when I immediately saw those small things are not that small, you know, and they are the ones that make who we are, what our lives are. And that was a big mindset shift for me. And that's when I really started enjoying the small things, and that I wanted to cherish them. I wanted to show how grateful I was for the small things. And that became a daily practice, you know, something I didn't have before, that just simple exercise that I saw on the internet. And I read books and books, you know, and been doing already the work with 109, but for gratitude, I never had a practice until that. And that really, really helped me.
That's funny that you said you read books and books and did all these things. And then this little thing, because I just wrote this down. It's the only note I've taken in our conversation right now. But I practice gratitude every single day, but we never have done this. And I'm thinking with my kids and everyone, I'm going to get a jar tonight, and we're going to start once a week. Hey there, I want to give you something really big. It's called Clear Path to Customers. It's the way that we get the right language to get the right client. I like to call them your wow clients, so that you can have more results, more revenue, more raving fans, and more referrals. And I want to give this to you absolutely free. And all you have to do is go to stevenapolitan.com to check it out, or you can look at the description here. We'll put the details there. As always, remember, choose gratitude and create freedom.